Have you ever wondered how far the power of faith and love can take you? In the vast expanse of human experiences, two elements often come to the fore: faith and love. These twin forces have the power to change lives in the most profound ways. Imagine a man weathered by life's many storms, seeking solace and finding it in the most unexpected of places, a church. His faith is kindled, bringing him a peace he had never known. Then enters love, in the form of a beautiful, dedicated woman serving in the very same church. Their connection is immediate, their bond unbreakable. Love blossoms, and they unite in holy matrimony. But life, as we know, is full of surprises. Some sweet, others bitter. Little did he know his faith would soon be put to the ultimate test. Join us as we unravel the journey of a man who found love in the most unexpected place, and how this love tested his faith. Meet John, a man whose life was filled with pain and struggles. Born into a family of limited means, John's early life was a constant uphill battle. His parents worked tirelessly to provide for their 5 children, yet they barely scraped by. Despite the hardships, John carried a spark of resilience in his heart. As he grew into a young adult, the struggles did not cease. John found himself grappling with the harsh realities of life: unemployment, financial instability, and the crushing weight of failure. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years of unyielding struggle. But as the saying goes, in the darkest hours, we often find our greatest strengths. And so it was for John. Amid the tumult of his life, he found solace in faith. It was an unexpected turn, a sudden realization that there was something greater than his struggles, a higher power watching over him. John started attending a local church, drawn in by the warmth and compassion he found within its walls. The church became his sanctuary, a place where he could lay down his burdens and find peace. The teachings of Jesus Christ resonated with him, providing him a new perspective on life, filling him with hope and strength. His faith not only served as a balm for his wounded spirit, but also brought about a remarkable transformation in him. John, who once felt like a ship lost at sea, now found a beacon of light guiding him. His faith in Jesus became his anchor, grounding him amidst the storms of life. The church community embraced him, providing him with a sense of belonging he hadn't experienced before. They showered him with love and acceptance, helping him rebuild his life piece by piece. John found comfort in the church services, in the hymns sung, in the prayers offered, and in the words of the sermons delivered. It was in the midst of these struggles that John found love. In the church, John met Sarah, a dedicated church member who captured his heart. Sarah was the embodiment of grace. Her dedication to the church was as constant as the sunrise, and her smile as warm as a summer's day. John, who had been through the wringer of life, found solace in her presence. Their connection was immediate and profound. It was as if 2 pieces of a puzzle had finally found their match. They would engage in deep conversations about faith, hope, and love, their words floating in the air like a sweet melody. Their shared passion for the church and its teachings formed a strong bond between them. Over time, their friendship blossomed into love. John found himself drawn to Sarah's kindness and unwavering faith. Her dedication to serving others was a beacon that guided him further into the path of righteousness. Sarah, on the other hand, admired John's resilience, his determination to rise above his past struggles, and his newfound devotion to faith. Soon, church bells were ringing, announcing their union. Their wedding was a beautiful ceremony, filled with joy, laughter, and blessings. The church where they had met, where their love had bloomed, was now the witness to their promise of forever. Married life brought them even closer. They prayed together, served the church together, and faced life's trials together. Their home was filled with love and the peace that John had been seeking for so long. He felt blessed, thankful to have found a partner in Sarah, who not only shared his faith, but also his dreams. John's life finally felt complete. His past struggles seemed like distant memories, replaced by the happiness he found in Sarah's arms. His faith in Jesus was stronger than ever, his heart filled with gratitude. It was as if all the pieces of his life had finally fallen into place. But not everything was as it seemed. Sarah, the woman John thought he knew, was not who she appeared to be. A shiver runs down your spine as you let those words sink in. Imagine the shock, the gut-wrenching disbelief of discovering that the person you pledged your life to is a stranger, a mirage of love and faith. John was a man full of faith and love. He saw Sarah not just for her physical beauty, but for her heart that seemed to echo his own. She was his sanctuary, his solace. But behind that captivating smile and those caring eyes lurked a different person, a wolf in sheep's clothing. John was shattered. The carpet of his life was ripped out from under him. He felt like a ship lost in a stormy sea, the compass of his life spinning wildly without direction. It was as if everything he believed in, everything he held dear, was suddenly cast into doubt, including his faith. Sarah, the woman he thought was a fellow traveller on the path of faith, was walking a different path. A path that didn't include him, a path that didn't include God. It was a revelation that shook him to the core. The heartbreak was profound, the betrayal piercing. It was like a wound, raw and open, threatening to swallow him whole. But the worst part, it was the impact on his faith. The faith that had been his guiding light through all the struggles and pain now flickered, threatening to go out. But in the midst of this turmoil, something remarkable happened. In the darkest hour, when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer appeared on the horizon. God, in his infinite wisdom and mercy, had a plan. He had not abandoned John. John's world was falling apart, but God was there, working behind the scenes. He was about to send a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the face of despair. It was a clear reminder that even in our most trying times, God is there, waiting to rescue us when we least expect it. Just when things seemed darkest, God sent a lifeline. In the midst of his despair, a stranger arrived with a message of hope. Just when John thought his world was crumbling, an unexpected ally surfaced, a stranger who seemed to know exactly what he was going through. The stranger wasn't particularly extraordinary in appearance, but he carried with him something indescribable, a certain aura of calm and peace that was almost contagious. This stranger was no ordinary man, but a vessel of grace, sent by God, armed with a message of hope and restoration. He extended a helping hand to John, offering him a lifeline in his darkest hour. The stranger reminded John of his faith, of the love and redemption found in Christ. He urged John to remember the strength and resilience that faith had given him in the past. John's faith had been shaken, but the stranger's words stirred something within him. He found himself drawn back to the teachings of his faith, to the promise of salvation and guidance in times of trouble. The stranger's words served as a reminder that God was with him even in the midst of his trials. As John began to lean into his faith, he found his strength returning. He found the courage to confront the challenges that lay ahead, to face the truth about the woman he had loved. With renewed determination, John began to rebuild his life, slowly but surely picking up the pieces that had been shattered. The stranger's intervention was nothing short of divine. He was a beacon of hope in John's darkest hour, a reminder of God's unfailing love and mercy. John's rescue was not just physical, but spiritual, a restoration of his faith and his spirit. The transformation in John's life after the rescue was remarkable. He emerged from his trials with a deeper understanding of his faith, a stronger relationship with God, and an unshakable resolve to live a life of purpose and meaning. John's faith was tested, but he emerged stronger. He found that the trials he faced were not meant to break him, but to build him, to mold him into a vessel of God's grace. And in the end, he discovered that his rescue was not just about saving him from his predicament, but about leading him back to his faith and the loving arms of his Creator. John's journey was a roller coaster of emotions, but it taught him valuable lessons. His tale, one of love and faith intertwined, was as surprising as it was enlightening. When he first laid eyes on the lovely lady in the church, he thought he'd found the missing piece of his life. But as the story unfolded, he learned that not everything that glitters is gold. John discovered that genuine love is not just about outer beauty, but also about inner goodness. This realization sprouted from the bitter seed of deceit, but bloomed into the sweet fruit of wisdom. His faith too was put to the test. When his world started to crumble, it was his faith that gave him the strength to hold on and hope for a brighter tomorrow. This journey transformed John's life, reinforcing his faith and redefining his understanding of love. In the end, John realized that his faith was his greatest strength and love, his greatest gift.